While the ZF is a fantastic gearbox, they're about as sensitive as a teenager after their first breakup. Any incorrect oil levels or temperatures can lead to unnecessary wear and tear and eventually even break them. So in this video, I'm going to be changing the oil in my Falcon ZF. As with all my videos, this is for educational purposes only. If you're not 100% confident that you can do this at home yourself, don't do this at home yourself. Take your car to a professional and have them do it. You really don't want to accidentally put too little or too much oil in your gearbox and accidentally break it. The first thing to look at is the pan. Now, most tech write-ups will recommend changing the pan completely every time you change the oil. If you're not going to do that, then it's recommended that you change the drain plug every time that you change the oil. Now, this pan is obviously plastic and standard. Most of them were plastic, but there are actually a lot of metal ones out there as well, like what my gearbox has. For some reason, Ford decided that the metal ones don't get drain plugs. It's just nothing there. So instead of being able to drain the oil using that, you have to go through this process of undoing all of the bolts around it, and we'll get to that. There are aftermarket options that are metal and do have the drain on them. If you're going to do this process, now is the time, I would say, to change to an aftermarket option, because you're going to have to pull this thing off of your gearbox to actually drain the oil properly. Now, temperature is very important during this process. You need your gearbox to be between 30 and 50 degrees. So if it's been sitting overnight, you may need to run it for a bit to get it up to temperature. There you go. Look at that. That's working out okay so far. Damn. And that's that one out. There's only one more holding it together now. This is all just oil left in the pan now. Ah, damn it. I just put the bottom of the pan in the oil. Oh, alright. Now this gasket, I'm sure, is probably supposed to get replaced. But, I'm going to be honest with you guys, the workshop manual I'm using actually says nothing about it. And I did not have the foresight to get a new one. So, I'm going to be reusing mine. It actually looks like it's in really good condition. So this is the pan from the gearbox, obviously. I'm just making sure it doesn't have metal shavings or anything in it that would indicate that I'm currently destroying anything in the gearbox. I'm not seeing anything that would really indicate that there's any serious problems inside the gearbox. While there are a couple of little floaties in there, it's nothing like what, if you check out this video up here, the metal shavings that we found in that engine after a bearing was just chewed to pieces. I'm really wondering how I'm going to manage this, considering I am so darn flat stuck here underneath the car. It's really going to be a bit of a mission. And I don't want to bash the thing into all of the internals of my gearbox, but it's kind of what's happening. Alright. Number one. Let's just do the opposite corner, I guess. Ah, my arm is covered in oil now. I touched the container. Oh god. Getting dirty? I do YouTube stuff so I can sit in an office all day, being clean. Not so I can get dirty. When tightening these bolts back up, there is an order in which you need to do them. That's on screen now, and the torque spec for these is 10 Newton meters. 10 Newton meters. 10 Newton meters. 10 Newton meters. Alright. That is all of those bad boys in. Next, I gotta put oil back in this thing. Now, given that fill cap, plug, whatever, is on the side, you can't exactly just get this and go, whoop, and pour in. It's not gonna work. So, you need some sort of pump to do so. Hey, focus camera, there we go. I've got this
Nifty little hand one. Very cheap, very simple. And we throw a little pumpy boy in there. It'll screw on eventually. So now when I pump the little hand pump thing here, the oil will come down this tube and out the little nozzle. I'm not going to do it right now because it is quite hard to get it to stop once I start. And I've still got to get under there to actually fill the thing. This is 4 litres. The manual says between 3.5 and 4 litres of oil. So I am going to put almost this whole thing in. And see how it goes.
And again, this is where temperature comes into play. You still need your gearbox to be between 30 and 50 degrees. That way the oil has the correct viscosity and you can fill the gearbox properly.
This is what, 8 millimeter. So, whack this on. That's already backed off. All right. Let's get pumping. There we go. So far, nothing leaking. That's a good sign. Basically just praying that I've got that nozzle in there hard enough that it's not gonna get pushed out. Being up under a car certainly makes this a lot harder. Unnecessarily difficult. And my crappy exhaust being in the way does not help the situation.
Once you've filled the gearbox, now the tricky part starts. You actually need to start the car and go through some gears to make sure that the oil is circulating through the gearbox properly. So you'll turn it on, put it in drive, wait 3 seconds, into second, wait 3 seconds, back into drive, wait 3 seconds, then into reverse, wait another 3 seconds, and then you can go back to park. Obviously make sure you've got the handbrake on and your foot on the brake at the same time. Once you've done all that, you need to then jack your car back up, undo the fill plug, and with the car running, that's right, with the car running, you need to undo the fill plug and put another 250 ml of oil in the gearbox. The reason for this is that with the car running, oil is being circulated through the gearbox. So you've just gone through all of those gears to make sure that the oil is properly circulating through. Once you've turned the car off, it will start to drain back down into the pan again. So with the car running, you're going to add 250 mils of oil at a time to top up the gearbox. You'll know you've reached the right oil level when a small stream of oil actually comes out of the fill port. That's right, there's no more accurate way of measuring it than that. You've just got to slowly fill it until a small stream comes out. If you end up putting 500 mils of oil or more into the gearbox, well then you need to stop and go back through that process of changing through the gears again to make sure that the oil is properly circulating through the gearbox. Once you've got that small stream of oil, you need to then put your fill plug back in. They're torqued to 35 newton meters, and with that, you're done. Congratulations, you've now changed the oil in your ZF gearbox and it will live to fight another day. Frankly guys, this job is actually a bit of a pain in the butt to do at home on the garage floor. It's not fun crawling around underneath the car, especially when it's on, trying to fill that gearbox. I actually would recommend taking it to a professional, or at least finding a friend that has a hoist or hiring a hoist for the day. But anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it was useful information. Don't forget to subscribe and all that sort of stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video.